How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Kamari, and welcome back on this sort of unscripted Wednesday. People are still going nuts about this game, Hogwarts Legacy, like we always talk about. People are just, I really thought it would have died down. I really thought people would have learned their lesson, that it's not really doing anything, but it does not appear that's what's happening. We're going to kind of take a look at a few articles that I've just glazed over, but we're pretty much going to be kind of looking at them together for the first time. Just because I want to take a look at this with you guys and just see how people are just losing their mind over it. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so this first article is titled Hogwarts Legacy Game Director Addresses Criticism, but Fails to Mention J.K. Rowling's Trans Views. Well, I mean, I guess, okay, addressing the criticism, but you should be talking about the game, not about trans views. How does that relate to the game? Why should he be talking about that? I think that's totally idiotic. Let's keep going. Hogwarts Legacy directors responded to criticisms by LGBTQ plus activists planning to boycott this game. Avalanche Software game director Andrew Tu has said in a 26 January interview with IGN that the upcoming Harry Potter title, he wants it to feel welcome. He wants everyone to feel welcomed back to the series, which is very good. His comments come amid some rising backlash from activists who argue the game further supports Rowling, who's routinely criticized for review on trans people. Okay, regardless of your opinion on J.K. Rowling's views, it really doesn't matter to this game. That's what I don't understand. I get like she's gonna make royalties, fine, whatever. Then just don't give her your money. But people have this like weird thing for over the past like 5 or 6 years where they think their opinion matters. Like, am I the only one who remembers being told as a kid, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but it doesn't mean your opinion matters? Like, yeah, you can have your opinion and you can choose how to spend your money. Why do you feel this narcissistic need to force everyone else to spend their money the way you spend your money or to support the things you support? I'll never understand that. I have plenty of things that I support and don't support, and they would be very different from things that other people support and don't support. I don't understand why people think that they can force their views onto the world, but let's keep going. While he didn't mention Rowling to address the concern, saying the project aims to be something all fans can enjoy, which is a good thing. They did a more in-depth interview, which I think I've got pulled up here. We'll take a look at. This is just kind of a snippet. The two said there are challenges in every game we've worked on. He said this game has been no different. I'm sure that's 100% true. Every game, it just kind of comes with game development. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be some parts that go really smoothly, and there's going to be bumps in the road. Look at any documentary about game development. The God of War one's a really good one. Of course, there's always going to be challenges. When we bumped into those challenges, we went back and refocused on the stuff we really care about. I believe that's true to a certain extent. I believe the way he is quoting it here might be a little bit intellectually dishonest. I think it's a perfect answer. It's exactly how I would have answered it. But I believe he's trying to structure the answer to make it sound like we went back and focused on making sure that trans people felt welcomed, which if that's true, as long as it doesn't affect the gameplay, fine. But I think what actually happened is like, okay, you did your prototype, you did your first kind of draft of the game, and then you go back and you fix stuff. But I like the way that he structured this answer to kind of keep himself out of trouble, which I think was a really smart thing to do. Hogwarts Legacy immediately became a divisive topic upon its announcement. In February, it was revealed lead designer Troy Leavitt. People are still talking about Troy Leavitt. Like, I mean, in a negative way. I'm not saying people shouldn't talk about Troy Leavitt. He worked on a lot of great games. He worked on this game, and this game looks fantastic. He has a very impressive resume. Seems to be a pretty good guy. People are still like trying to just pull anything out of thin air. Like they are just grasping at any straws, trying to, frame any interview question. He didn't specifically mention Rowling by name. Hint, hint. He's probably a bigot too. Like just that, that underlying like whispered subliminal messaging. It kind of really feels like they're doing, like trying to say like basically everything around this game is poison. Troy Leavitt has his own YouTube channel, and that was a big thing last year. And, you know, whether you agree with his views or you don't agree with his views, again, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but that doesn't mean their opinion has to matter. Like, J.K. Rowling is not in government. Like, she's not writing, you know, laws. If people spent half as much time actually trying to get things changed as they did protesting, being, you know, activist, which means going on Twitter, you know, imagine if like the women's rights movement had, you know, been this basically, like, just, it would have been nothing. Like, there would those were activists who actually went and put in work and actually got things changed on a level and a scale that truly mattered. This like online activism crap, or, you know, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It feeds people's narcissism. But I'm going on a tangent. Let's keep going. Levitt left the company in March 22, despite saying he felt absolutely secure in his position. Okay, I mean, no one really knows the details around that. I'm sure that it's very possible that, you know, Warner Brothers felt some pressure and, you know, felt like, okay, you know, you've had your career, you know, maybe it's just better for everybody. You know, he's probably still gonna make some money off the game, or already made money off the game, you know, maybe a severance package, kind of golden parachute or whatever, but that's usually for higher ups. Avalanche Software previously worked on the Infinity series, has attempted to rebuild bridges with the trans community by announcing that Rally will have little creative control of the project. In addition, it was revealed in March by journalists that the game would allow players to create trans characters, which I'm completely fine with. I've already kind of said my spiel on this. I think especially in a story-driven kind of single-player game, I think everybody should be able to make any kind of character they want. I think it's fine that they do like the body 1, body 2, voice 1, voice 2, whatever. If you make a male character, you know your character's male. You make a female character, you know your character's female. Somewhere in between on the 27-mile long spectrum now, whatever, it's your character, man, or girl, or whatever. You know, like, do you. That's kind of my thing. Like, if it doesn't affect anybody else, do you. You know, that's kind of always been my standpoint. Do you, as long as it only affects yourself, and as long as, you know, we're not, like, the scale of it isn't, you're not, yeah, anyways, without going too far into that. That's for another video. The game developer appeared to echo the inclusive wishes of the developers. We know all our fans fell in love with the Wizarding World, and we believe they fell in love with it for the right reasons. For us, it's making sure that the audience who always dreamed of having this game had the opportunity to feel welcomed back, that they have a home here, and it's a good place to tell their story. Again, that's a really good answer. Not really much more to say about that. I mean, I think that's a perfect political answer, you know, without saying one way or the other, just kind of vague as possible. When you know that someone's interviewing you and trying to trap you, I think being as vague and broad as possible without really giving any opinion on anything, like saying a lot without saying anything, I think that is a super smart thing to do. And I think that's great. Now, this is where they go a little bit more in depth on the interview. So let's take a look here. So this is where he says we bumped into those challenges. So I wanted to kind of highlight one very specific point. Okay, right here. So two stopped short of mentioning J.K. Rowling by name, nor did he say anything specific about trans issues or trans rights. So I asked him a second question, you know, because we got to really poke the bear and hone in. Like, you gotta, you know, I want to hear it. I asked him if he himself ever had any second thoughts about working on this IP after Rowling's biases made headlines. And after a long pause, Tu reiterated his earlier statement. The team made Hogwarts Legacy for everyone. And I think that's great. That is absolutely great. Nevertheless, backlash against Rowling's ongoing opposition, transgender including, remains a core part of the conversation around Harry Potter. It was included Harry Potter alumni Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe, both of which have pushed back against Rowling's stance with statements of their own. Okay, that's another thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly here. So two things I want to focus in on here. Calling it a core part of the conversation, would that be accurate? I would say yes, because these people just will not let it go. They cannot fathom that people don't care what her viewpoint's on. People who disagree with her strongly don't really give a damn. They're just like, whatever, all right, fine. She's a bigot, or she's not a bigot, or I agree with her, or I disagree with her, or whatever. People just don't care. And the second thing I want to focus in on is this whole like Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe, like, oh, they've already fired back with comments of their own. And I found this other article. Daniel Radcliffe has already told J.K. Rowling what he thinks of Harry Potter and transphobia ahead of Hogwarts Legacy release. This is a super intellectually dishonest thing to say. One, it makes it sound like Daniel Radcliffe popped off on J.K. Rowling, which is not true. Two, it makes it sound like he made these statements very recently. Again, not true. These statements were made 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Like around 2020, 2019. If I scroll down here, it'll probably give me a date. So the most recent one was early 2022 when he was asked why he made those statements in an interview. And he basically just said, oh, because I know a lot of trans people love Harry Potter and I want them to know that, I see them as people and all that, which is a fine thing to say. But he also, the big long spiel here, this was right when the J.K. Rowling thing started years ago. And so it's not like some recent thing, and it's not like he told her off. All he said was, I think trans women are women, I think trans men are men. And he even goes on to say, I have no quarrel with J.K. Rowling, and I will admit, my career would be nowhere near where my career is at today if it was not for J.K. Rowling. So this title, just this undertone, Daniel Radcliffe has already told Rowling what he thinks of Harry Potter. It makes it sound like Daniel Radcliffe tweeted out at J.K. Rowling and was like, you can take Harry Potter and shove it up your rear end kind of thing. It's just not true at all. It's super, and that's these people who make these articles who are trying so hard to force their opinions down your throat. They're so transparent. They think that they're have this jet black shield in front of them, but they're really made of the cleanest glass you've ever seen. It's so easy, with the tiniest little bit of research or just reading their own article, you see right through it, and it just starts making less and less sense as the further you get into it. And it really just they shoot themselves in the foot because they make it where you can't trust them. These people are hoping that you only read the headline, because if you were scrolling through a newsfeed and all you saw was this, your immediate assumption would be, oh dang, I guess Daniel Radcliffe popped off on J.K. Rowling. Dang, that's crazy. And you just keep scrolling, and then that'll be you'll invent the story in your head, and that's what they're hoping, that they can write some bogus headline that is 1% truth, and that you will invent the fan fiction in your own head. And you'd be like, dang, if Daniel Radcliffe isn't wanting me to play this game, maybe. No, it's not going to happen. People are a little bit smarter than that in today's day and age. The other thing, a lot of these writers are focusing in on Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, coming out in support of trans people. And you could argue slightly taking a stance against J.K. Rowling. Again, look at, of course they did. If they didn't, especially when all this came out, when cancel culture was just running rampant because we were all stuck indoors with nothing else to do but cancel celebrities, I guess. So of course they would, because not doing it at that time would have probably been career suicide. I mean, look at all of the celebrities who, won't be cast now and don't have jobs anymore. And, not even just celebrities, game developers and designers and, producers and actors and some guy working at, a factory who said the wrong thing on Twitter, and then they, everyone on Twitter emailed his boss kind of thing. So yeah, anybody and everybody had, a microscope on them when all this came out. So if I'm Daniel Radcliffe, it doesn't matter what the fuck I believe. I am 100% gonna say exactly that. Pardon my language, but I'm 100% gonna be like, yeah, trans women. Yep, is that my agent right here? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Is that good? That's good. Trans. Yep. Okay. We're good. So of course, like, I wouldn't put any stock into that. I mean, if that's really how they feel, great. Again, doesn't affect me, doesn't affect anybody else. Have any opinion you want, great. That's fine. All the people viewing this, whether you agree, disagree with J.K. Rowling, fantastic. Fantastic. Your opinions are totally valid because they are your opinions, but that does not mean that they have to affect the rest of the world. My opinions shouldn't affect the rest of the world. I'm just here to kind of report on these people losing their mind and trying to tell you how to spend your money. So they're trying to make their opinions affect you, which is why it's important to me. Anyways, that's pretty much it. The only other little piece of news, which I might make a video on pretty soon, is a couple leakers who didn't really leak anything, claiming to be a lead developer's son. Basically got a copyright strike and their Reddit accounts deleted, but I'm pretty sure they were burner accounts anyways. We could just go through that super quick anyways. I was gonna make another video on it, but we'll just go and do it now. So basically, I almost just went over the whole thing. So a couple of people on Reddit, one of them claiming to be a lead developer's son, saying he had access to QA on the game. Said he was authorized to host a limited Q&A session. I do not believe that. Revealing details about the game. They didn't reveal anything to have to do with the story. They were just asked basically like mechanical questions, which really didn't amount to much. So really nothing new was really learned. I don't really see him being super significant. I guess it's something. It's news that came out today. Apparently, there's like memes about it and stuff. But yeah, don't leak things on games if you don't want your Reddit account banned, I guess. And also, like, they listed they said they're the son of Chad Liddell, which is a design director for Hogwarts Legacy. If that's true, then this has got to be the dumbest leaker in the history. You might as well just give in your own name. Like, oh yeah, this guy's my dad. Well, I wonder, even if the guy's got like 5 kids, I'm sure like that guy could easily be like, I know which one would do this. And that easy. Like, which one of them actually cares about internet cool points? So that's just weird and funny to me, I guess. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed taking a look at these articles with me. I know it's a little bit rambling and a little bit tangenty, but that's just kind of like what I wanted to do for today. 3rd day in a row making a video, so just wanted to kind of do something lighthearted, something fun. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please definitely let me know in the comments below. Comment question of the day, something I'm going to start doing from now on. Comment question of the day: what house are you going to be in Hogwarts Legacy? Is it your like normal house that you got through the online thing? Or are you going to manually select your house? So let me know what house you're going to be playing and how you got that house. And then if you're going to be like a good wizard or a bad wizard. So if you're going to be a Gryffindor, maybe you're a dark Gryffindor. That'd be I'm really interested to hear like what kind of creative things you guys come up with there. If you like the video, check out some of the other videos on the channel. I just did a full scrub on the channel, so all that's left is like my quality content, no more 10-year-old like bad videos. Really trying to gear the channel up to grow, so every like, every subscription, every comment like helps me out a lot. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here at the tavern, and have a great week.